And like Sue said, with that food label on there or the supplement label, it shows you that you can take these internally. You can't go to CVS, Mustard Seed, Earth Fare, any of those places and purchase an essential oil and pay $5 for it and think you're going to be able to take it internally. You can't do that. doTERRA's oils, every single liter that is produced is checked by a third party, tested by a third party to ensure that it is pure, that nothing has tainted that oil. And these oils are actually obtained from where they're indigenous. So you have lemons, which actually grow in Arizona, they grow in Florida, but rather than get the lemons from, there, they're actually getting them from Sicily, where they're indigenous. They're organic. And the other thing that's really nice about doTERRA doing this, getting the oil, the plants and the oil from where they're indigenous, is that it's actually sustaining that area economically as well, which is awesome. They have the foresight to look ahead on how they're actually going to help people in that way, as well as what these oils are going to do for everybody. Lavender, lavender we can grow in Cleveland, but they get it from Provence. So, that in itself. Frankincense is from
Oman.
Where?
Oman.
Oman. Okay.
It's like wine. You can grow wine in Parma, or you can grow wine in the Loire Valley.
Right.
Which one's going to taste better?
Right.
It's the soil. It really is. It's got something to do with the soil and the atmosphere and the pH content of the soil, and it makes a difference in the grade of therapeutic value. The lavender grown in Parma is going to have some therapeutic grade, but the lavender from its indigenous area is going to have more of its therapeutic potential realized, or all of it actually. So that's.
But if we take a look at this Nature's Medicine Cabinet sheet that I passed down to you, I'm just going to go over this kind of quickly because we do have a lot to cover. What is an essential oil? It's actually an extract from a plant, 50 to 70 times more powerful than an herb. 1 drop of our peppermint oil equals 28 cups of peppermint tea. So, somebody says, oh, I'm feeling kind of crappy, I'm going to have a cup of peppermint tea. You can actually take a drop of our peppermint oil and, get that therapy very much quicker than you could just from a cup of tea. These oils are safe, very safe. The company doTERRA stands behind everything that we're going to tell you today, everything that you're going to read. They're a fabulous organization, very family-based, Christian-based, no matter what your beliefs are, good, wholesome company. The oils are affordable. I'm going to tell you, the oils are more expensive than what you're going to get in the drugstore or at a regular store, or maybe even some people that are going to provide their own blending and things like that you can get online. But when you put those oils side by side with doTERRA and use them personally, I believe wholeheartedly that you are going to see a difference in the effect that you're going to get almost immediately from the doTERRA oil versus the other one that you're using.
Can I comment on that?
Sure.
Just so when they came to me, I was still in the process of trying to decide which oils I was going to go with, and there was Windmere, another company, which they had never heard of. So what I did to help decide was I personally went through and they gave me, I think there was 3. There was the Intune, which helps people focus. There was the
Balance, I believe.
Balance, and then, you gave me a digestive one for my Crohn's disease. And then I compared it with oils that were similar from this other place, and what I found, and we actually were selling the roll-ons from that place upstairs, and I'm very dissatisfied with it. The doTERRA oils seem to last really long. That other stuff, I literally have to they laugh at me upstairs because I'm rolling, I'll start rolling it here, everywhere, and it's not within maybe 20 minutes, it's gone. So these oils last, and in such small amounts that you don't really need a whole lot to use to get the effect. So that's what I wanted to kind of out of all the research and stuff that I did, this other place is similar, not 100% the same, but in regards to somewhat production and I don't know what the word would be. But anyways, I just wanted to comment on that because I did do my own little experiment.
With the doTERRA oils, the purity, the level of purity also makes it work much faster, because you have to remember with an essential oil, the purer it is. When you put a drop of essential oil on your palms and you inhale it, that thing hits your olfactory system and it hits your bloodstream within 30 seconds, if it's pure. You know, so you should be feeling it right away or within a minute. You know, so the purity really does matter. And remember that when you're putting something on your skin, you're inhaling it, you're tasting it, well, obviously tasting it, but even if you're putting it on your skin or inhaling it, it's hitting the bloodstream. Never forget that. It's getting into your body. So, and so if it's not organic, you're also putting that into your body too, so think about that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, why use an essential oil versus a pharmaceutical drug? Hundreds of natural compounds are in the essential oil versus synthetic compounds from the drugs. Pennies per drop with the oil versus expensive copays and prescriptions. Treating the problem with the oil, it'll actually go to the problem to help correct it, where the drug only masks the symptom, masks the symptom. Virtually no harmful side effects with the essential oil. And pharmaceutical drugs are the 4th leading cause of death in the United States right now. Why certified pure therapeutic grade? No industry regulation or standard is placed on essential oils. Plant material, like I said before, is sourced from the native origins. Each liter undergoes a multiple third-party test to certify the purity. And these oils are actually effective against viruses and bacteria. If you go to the doctor, you take your child or whatever, and they tell you, oh, you have a virus, there's nothing I can give you, right? You just have to wait it out, do your best. The melaleuca oil, there's all of them, right? Bacteria resides on the outside of the cell, virus on the inside. These oils actually penetrate the cell membrane to kill the virus and the bacteria. So you don't really, they tell you, oh, you got a virus, go ahead, grab your melaleuca. Which is tea tree. This is 100%. We're going to pass these around too. And you put that on the bottom of your feet. You put it in your hand like Sue says and breathe it in. Put it on the back of your neck. I put them on my chest. I do all that. And it's going to penetrate that cell. 3 ways you can use essential oils. Aromatically, you can diffuse it. And we brought a diffuser just so I could show you. This is a real simple one.
Is that a diffuser over there?
No, we have a diffuser over here with water-based.
Okay.
Yeah, this is water-based also.
This is a real simple one. You just fill it up with water to the line, put your oils in there, plug it in, and it comes out real nice. These are good for a small room.
This is not a doTERRA product here.
No.
How long would you keep it on? Like, how long would it last?
This particular one lasts 7 hours before you have to add more oil to it. Some of them only last a couple hours. Each diffuser is going to be different.
The more you pay for a diffuser, usually the more it's going to last. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to read the specs on it.
Right.
But there is one that doTERRA does sell. It's like $129, something like that. And it's one where you actually hook this right up into it, so you're not spritzing oil. And you can tell it, all right, give me 2 spritzes every 15 minutes. Give me a spritz every hour. And that's the kind that is running. They've got running down at the Vanderbilt University Hospital. They've got it running in the ER, because when they're running the oils in there, I mean, they've got a couple of them. It's calming down the staff.
Mm-hmm.
It's calming down the patients, calming down the staff. They're getting more work done. They're making less errors. So it depends. I veered off that a lot, but it depends on the quality of the diffuser and what your purpose is. I mean, if you just want to do it at night when you go to bed, something like that's fine. If you want to diffuse it in a classroom or an office where people are coming and going, maybe something a little bit more elaborate would be a better diffuser.
And we have diffusers we have one down here, one in each of the massage rooms, and
Good.
then one in my hypnotherapy room.
And they're small, they're fine because it's a small contained area. Yeah.
The one that you're talking about, we have one here that I got from that other place where you can program it. So like every 5, however
That's cool.
you want to do it, it'll program that way.
Yeah. And as therapists, either massage or otherwise, I mean, I would think you would want to, whatever your day is coming up, like if you're a massage therapist, maybe you would want something that's relaxing. This time of year, we have a blend called On Guard. We diffuse that a lot because it gets rid of the germs in the air, when people are coming through hacking and coughing and that kind of thing.
And don't forget your hands are great diffusers too. You put the oil here like this, or if you've got, a cat or a dog that's like insane, the dog's insane, you need to use your hands and just make them sniff it and go.
Right now, for one of my dogs, she has separation anxiety, and so I've been using Rescue Remedy, and I don't know if you know.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is it working?
Not real. I mean, it's okay. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So.
Okay, but just remember your hands are diffusers too.
Okay.
If you don't have, they work great. You don't have a cotton ball handy or something like that.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the oils myself. I have a diffuser, and also I do get essential oils, so I use essential oils, so I am familiar with them.
Good.
And for the massage people, I don't know if you guys do this, but when I go to do massage, usually I do the lavender and I'll put it on my hands, and when I sit down before I even get started, I put my hands in front of their face and I just tell them to take a couple deep breaths in before I even begin to help
That's good.
induce the relaxation.
Yeah. And we're going to go over the aroma touch technique too, as soon as we get through some of the preliminary stuff here. Of course, you can use the oils topically, and the doTERRA oils you can use internally. Now, not all the oils can be used internally.
They have to have.
They have to have the supplement.
The RDA supplement thing on.
And it also tells you on there how to use it. It'll say T for topical, I for internal, or A for aromatically. So, and we're also going to give you little booklets, and you can actually look at them too. We also have effective weight loss products, which we're not going to go over. Our On Guard, which is number 7 there on the bottom. That's one of our blends. You can diffuse that. It comes in a toothpaste. You can clean with it. The lady where I work out in Strongsville, she uses it to clean her gym. When we're done with the Pilates reformers, she actually has spray bottles, and we spray everything down and wipe them because it'll actually, it kills the germs, which is really neat. What else? And on the other side, it talks about their lifelong vitality supplements. They're supposed to be fabulous. I haven't started taking those yet. And we also have the Modern Essentials book, which I gave Kathy for joining doTERRA, where you can actually look up every single oil. That'll tell you what's good, how that oil's used. You can look up a specific ailment. So if you're dealing with somebody who says, you know what, I have whatever it is, you can take a look in that book, see exactly which oils, how to use those oils. It'll tell you, okay, say maybe you need lavender and peppermint, or whatever it is, wild orange and peppermint. This many drops, blend it this way, put it on the bottom of the feet, and diffuse it, mix it with coconut oil. It'll give you all the detail that you need. So that's a great book, and we're going to give you minis of that right now.
And there's going to be a copy at both locations, so you'll always have it to access.
So these are the mini version. Okay. Before I turn it over to Sue, I just wanted to say too that another thing nice about doTERRA is they actually put kits together. And one of the kits Kathy bought, which was the Aroma Touch Technique kit for the 8 oils that is actually used for the Aroma Touch therapy. But they also put other kits together, and this happens to be the Family Physician kit. This is the kit that I started with. when I joined doTERRA, and it's the kit that I purchased for my daughter-in-law so that she'd use it for my grandsons. doTERRA is very smart in the way that they do this because, and please disregard the way this looks because I use the heck out of it, so it's pretty beat up. But you actually get in this Family Physician Kit, you get 10 oils. Each one of these is 5 mils each, so it's a good trial size bottle, right? So you can see what oils you're going to use the most of, and then as you replace them, you get 15 ml bottle in most cases. But these 10 oils are the oils that you're going to use in most cases outside of the Aroma Touch technique. So we have lavender, lemon, peppermint, we have the melaleuca in here, we have frankincense, which is good for just about every single thing you can think of, oregano, our blend On Guard, which was that antiseptic one that I told you about. We have Breathe, which is very good for asthma, any kind of bronchial, upper respiratory issue, and Digest Zen, which you could use instead of an antacid if you have any kind of intestinal stomach issues. I actually had a stomach virus I contracted while I was visiting my grandkids this past weekend, and I could barely make it home. I had to drive for almost 4 hours home, and I was so sick. And if it hadn't been for my Digest Zen, I don't know how I would have made it, because I had the burning, you know, the whole bit, and that just really just calms everything down. You don't even have to drink it. You can actually just take it and rub it around your belly button, and it works great. But anyway, so my point is that the way they package these things is great. You don't have to buy kits, but it's great that they have it like this so that you can spend a small amount of money, experience 10 oils, see what you like, and then go from there.
Do you want to start going through them?
Well, I'm thinking, do you think we should just go through the Aroma Touch, or do you want me to go through the regular oils?
I would start with the Aroma Touch.
Okay.
Since that's the kit that I bought.
Get the samples on, or you want to use these samples?
Oh.
Can we use yours? Can we just open up a
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's why I brought them down.
All right, let's start with Balance.
Okay.
Balance is a great grounding oil. You've got somebody, maybe you're feeling a little bit airy-fairy that day.
If you look at it,
Couple of drops.
I'm sorry, this is in your booklet. Okay, go. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
So this is going to be on page 3. You see Balance Essential Oil at the top of your sheet. Got it?
Page-
It says 9.
Oh,
It says
yeah.
9, it says 9, yeah. All right, Balance, this is a blend. It contains spruce, frankincense, blue tansy, and rosewood. Now, you could obviously put these all together and make your own, but, you know, if you're going to do this combination, it's going to cost you a fortune. It's easier to do it just this way. This is a grounding oil. Like I said, if you want to start out your Aroma Touch technique, we're using this up. Back up. The Aroma Touch technique is for you massage techs. It's when you apply these oils in layers to people's spine and up their meridians, and then on the meridians of their feet. It's very important that the sequence, that you do them in order. You can't just go willy-nilly. You have to do like balances first. Lavender will be next. And there's different ways to do it. You know, like it'll come up. Your first one is where you're going to balance them out, the heart chakra, and you'll balance them out. And there's the technique you'll see. It's in the book. Is it?
Yes.
In there how to do it. But the sequence of the oils is extremely important. So the first one is Balance, and I'm going to let you smell Balance. Or if you want to put a little bit on a bit in your palm, that'd be great. It's a real nice oil. You can use it way outside of just, you know, the Aroma Touch technique. You could use that in everyday life. If, like I said, you're feeling just a little bit off area, hold it straight up. And watch is going to come out. And, oh, there you go. Didn't get any.
For the mental health people, can you also maybe just point out what it does for that too?
Yeah. Yeah, For the therapist,
nice.
other than massage,
Get a smell of it?
the one, you can actually recommend the balance because it is grounding. When you think about, somebody who maybe comes into your office and they're, very flustered, very aggravated, whatever that situation is for them, balance is my go-to every day, to just kind of, bring me where I need to be centered right there in front of what I have to do, what I'm dealing with. So I think for massage as well as any other type of therapy, that balance is the go-to for me.
Have they ever tried balance like with children who are autistic?
We've got something else for that. We've got an oil for that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, that would be good to know.
All right, we're going to go over lavender. Lavender, its general purposes are relaxation, stress reduction, relaxation. It will bring you down. It's not like centering you like grounding, but it's very relaxing. If you've got little kids, after you give them a bath, put a little bit on the bottom of their feet, it knocks them right out. It's really good for something like that. It's also really good aside from the massage, you get a burn. I did that. I spilled some oil in my hand, and water obviously doesn't help. Grab that lavender oil, and the pain went away. I said, this is really cool, Don't add no scar. It's good for burns. It's also good for, let's say you put it in a bottle and spritzed it, repelling insects. Fleas don't like it. For your purposes, for the aroma touch, it's going to be the second oil after balance, and it's going to be that extra relaxation, and again, it's going to go up the meridians. You're going to apply it to each of the 5 meridians going up. All right? We want to smell it. Now this smells fabulous. I've smelled a lot of lavender oils, and this one is probably the best I've ever smelled. It's just so, you can tell it's just pure.
So you just take.
Do the lavender.
Some of the oils, take a little bit off of her.
Oh, she can't do the lavender.
No, you can't. Okay, that's right.
Want some? Anybody want some?
No.
Do you want a tissue?
No.
Wipes?
No.
Okay.
I love lavender.
If you take a look at my note too that I have there, that
Did I skip you
scribbled on
last
the
time?
bottom
It's
of that
fine.
page,
No.
underneath the lavender.
But she said it may be the synthetic and the lavender that I did, and it may not even be the pure one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You feel okay around this? Okay.
Well, this actually, lavender helps maintain adrenal glands and regulate cortisol. So, if you remember that too, in a therapy situation, that might be very helpful as well.
So that means, that's interesting. So with the adrenal glands, then people who are low on that suffer from lack of energy, extreme fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be good for that too.
Yep. And you have the melaleuca right next to you.
On guard's next, isn't it?
Or,
That's-
melaleuca.
Oh, all right. Is that the next one in the series? Melaleuca is actually tea tree oil. It's from Australia. Now, tea tree oil, I've always hated it. I can't stand the smell of it. This is good. It's much more tolerable, let's put it that way. But tea tree oil is really antifungal. You're not going to find anything that's going to kill ringworm or toenail fungus.
My husband had toenail fungus.
You're just
and
not
I
going to
thought
find anything other than
in
that.
the tea tree oil really worked.
It's good on zit zapper. You've got some kind of a little pimple or something, put that on there. Gets rid of it. But it smells good for tea tree oil, doesn't it?
And this is very effective against MRSA as well. So if you know anybody that, has just contracted, that in the hospital, this will be great.
Antifungal, antiviral, antimicrobial?
Yeah.
Okay. On Guard. This is the go-to in the winter. On Guard is going to work on the immune system. And this is what you can take if you're starting to feel the flu coming on. There's a little formula we've got that's got On Guard, frankincense, and oregano in it.
Yeah.
I can give you the formula. It's like a couple of drops, mix them up together. You can put them in like a little tiny capsule and start popping them before you get if you think you're going to get the flu.
And The actual contents in here are wild orange, cloves, cinnamon, eucalyptus, and rosemary. That's the blend.
That's got, you can make the toothpaste out of that, On Guard, which I like it. I've tried the toothpaste, I've got that. Also, the toothpaste doesn't have fluoride in it.
Wait, doTERRA has a toothpaste?
Yeah.
doTERRA has a
Okay.
toothpaste that they use with On Guard, and there's no fluoride in it. It's really
So if you
good.
have parents, who are interested in kids being able to swallow their toothpaste, the doTERRA would be very safe for them because there aren't, there's not that fluoride in there.
Antibacterial, this is what you spray. When I work out, I've got a little spray bottle. I spritz down the machine first, wipe it down, work out, spritz it back. I'm always using this because I don't want anybody else's.
I also make my own hand sanitizer and throw it in my purse.
That's what I got.
If you're gonna pump gas or whatever you're gonna do. I put that in there.
On Guard is what you want to do instead of the antibacterial stuff, because that's got alcohol in it, which will kill, but it also dries up your hands.
But the reason why these oils are actually part of the Aroma Touch therapy is because there's really 4 goals to the Aroma Touch therapy. 1, it's going to reduce stress. 2, it enhances the immune system. So when you're looking at the On Guard and the Melaleuca, that's going to enhance the immune system, okay? The next 2 that we're going to talk about are actually anti-inflammatory. And then the last 2 that we're going to talk about actually helps the body achieve homeostasis. So the Aroma Touch has 4 goals: reduce stress, enhance the immune system, reduce the inflammation, and then help the body achieve homeostasis.
That's why you're using them in that order.
Correct.
The layering is really important. This is the Aroma Touch. Aroma Touch is made out of cypress, basil, marjoram, and grapefruit and peppermint. And again, this was anti-inflammatory. And that's nice for just using outside of the
Which one's
What are the
one?
4 things that
Aroma
the
Touch.
Aroma Touch does again?
Oh,
Anti-inflammatory.
Yeah.
first
Right
one
there.
is balance,
Okay.
anti-inflammatory, anti-immune.
It improves circulation, helps to manage
And that one's pretty good.
aches, tension, spasms. I use this in my reflexology a lot too, the Aroma Touch. Especially with neuropathy patients, good for neuropathy.
All right, the next one is Deep Blue. This is going to work for anti-inflammatory. My husband's got rheumatoid arthritis, and in all my quest for finding things that might help him, I've been slapping all kinds of things on it. Like, get away from me now. I put this on him. This he likes. This he's actually told me to give him some more. Bring these little sample things so he can take them to work, and he's going to share them with his friends. Now, that's not my husband, but this guy is. This stuff, if you've got an ache, you've got a sore neck, sore elbows, you can use this. Outside of this, the anti-inflammatory, when you're putting it on the spine, it's going through the entire blood system. But if you've got an issue, this is what Deep Blue is good for. Think of it like your replacement for Bengay. Okay, as far as your personal medicine cabinet, think of it as your replacement for Biofreeze or Bengay or something like that. This is going to work to reduce the pain.
But not
And
only
inflammation.
that, your Bengays, your Biofreeze, they do not reduce the inflammation. Deep Blue is actually anti-inflammatory. You can put Deep Blue on before a workout, and it's going to keep you from being as sore as normal after your workout. It comes in the oil. It also comes in a cream rub, like for larger areas. I'm going to give you a sample of this. There's 3 applications. There's 3 applications in each one of these. So if you have something that's hurting on you right now, yeah, rub it on there.
that's why it was
if you can,
so
so you
strong. She
can see
used
how
the
it's
whole
going to
thing
work.
on me.
Oh my gosh!
This is like perfect timing.
I didn't know that.
You didn't tell.
I didn't know that. I had her use it on me for my massage. She did the whole packet, and I was like, man, this stuff is strong.
Oh, no.
I'll see you still.
My back was like cooling for afterwards.
Funny. That's funny, but it works though, doesn't it? It takes the
Yeah, I
pain away.
actually thought that was way better than the BioFreeze. I was,
Definitely.
Yeah.
although maybe it was because we used an entire.
Yeah, that was funny.
Now, I actually have people, who order like 3 or 4 of these at a time, especially the cream, because, you know, they.
Comes in a tube, too.
Oh, comes in a tube.
How are you? Hi, Sue.
Hi.
We don't wear that many chairs.
Here. I can move over.
Hop on the floor to me.
No, we can move over.
Don't spill that coffee or
Yeah.
whatever. it is.
We're gonna go into the last phase of the
Oh.
aroma touch
Should
right
make a
now.
space for you over there.
Oh, they are?
Sorry. The last 2 oils, this is the homeostasis portion of it. So Sue's gonna talk about the wild orange, which is one of our most popular oils.
Very, very
Outside of
popular.
aroma touch, this is one of the most popular ones.
This one reminds you of Florida. You know, when you go to Florida, they've always got that little perfume that they're trying to sell you. That's what this reminds me of. So this reminds me of Disneyland and Florida. And it's a great energy enhancer. So if you diffuse wild orange, people are going to be like, happy. It's still happy. It's a Disneyland effect, I guess. It's a great one to diffuse. I put a couple of them in drops on my car diffuser.
Does your book like tell you like how much you put in the diffuser as far as?
Yeah, the diffuser will tell you, like maybe 5 or 6 drops in the diffuser to go. Yeah. Now, keep in mind, like some of these we're talking about where you can ingest. I put this in my smoothies. It makes them taste fabulous. If you've got like a citrus smoothie going with pineapple and maybe apple, bananas, throw in a couple of drops of this, makes it a world of difference. So that's one of my favorite oils. It's a fun oil. And that one is going to, like I said, enhance the mood, so it's going to bring that homeostasis. And also that is one of the oils that at the end of the aroma touch, you'll see that that's one of the ones you're putting on the feet. The happy feet. And the last of the aroma touch oils, this is just this one kit. The last of the aroma touch is peppermint. Now peppermint is a go-to oil all the way around. I mean, it's got so many purposes. I mean, if you were only going to buy one oil in the entire world, this is the one I would buy, because this one handles so many things, and to me, one of the biggest things is digestive issues. Nausea. If you've got kids, they've got motion sickness. Put it on a little cotton ball, pass it around. You can get on a plane, any kind of motion sickness. Someone that's got, that's undergoing chemo, the 2 days later, when the violent nausea starts, give them that. Morning sickness, you gotta be careful with morning sickness. I'll give a caveat on that one. Women that are in the first trimester, don't use it. You give them ginger instead. Seasickness, ooh, absolutely. Fabulous for seasickness. A friend of mine was on a cruise with his wife with a bunch of massage techs, and he sells this stuff, and he put it was rough seas, and everybody's like running around with their little barf bags, and he started handing out Kleenexes with 1 drop of peppermint oil, and then he looks out and he sees this sea of people with Kleenexes on them, and so do barf bags now. So it was very good. I mean, it really does help, because I can attest to it. Last December, I was on a cruise. We were out in the Pacific, and the Pacific is rough. I mean, it's not like the Caribbean, nice. It was rough, and I don't normally get seasick. I was out on the balcony, snorting my little peppermint oil and doing Reiki. I will admit I was doing Reiki too. But seasickness does not go away until you actually dock. Until that ship stops, anchored, dock, at the port, and you get off. That's when seasickness stops. This worked. This actually worked. So I will absolutely attest to it.
I mean, you can
This
put
is
that-
fabulous for headaches.
headaches, maybe.
I take this and I'll mix
rub on
it
your neck.
with 1 drop of lavender oil. Put it on my forehead, back here, headache goes away. So it's a vasodilator. Also, that we have another oil called Breathe, but if you've got stuffy noses, I take the peppermint oil and you just inhale deeply. Don't touch it too. Just inhale it deeply. And because it's a vasodilator, everything opens up. And then you take the Breathe oil and then that you start, so you use a combination of oils. But if you don't have anything else, the peppermint oil is going to get that stuffiness
I
away.
buy it in a body wash. I buy it in a body wash.
Well, buy a body wash, it doesn't have anything in it, put this in it now.
Yeah.
You know, it also, well, with the headaches, like sometimes I'll rub it actually into my scalp
Mhm.
too.
Stimulate.
And then ever since I was in undergrad, I would use some form of peppermint right before I would take a test, and it would help.
Alertness, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My husband has COPD, and I bought him some peppermint, and now he sits there and he breathes it in.
Good.
So now I'm gonna think I'm gonna have to buy that Breathe.
I use peppermint for
Do you?
my boys, my athletic teams. I make them breathe it in, for
Mhm.
the alertness, before the games and stuff like that. So,
There are some other oils too that will work on if you've got classes, if you're a teacher and you've got a classroom situation where you want these kids paying attention during their test. Maybe you want to use lemon oil too to snap them up. Or
Yeah.
If they're crazed, then you want to do lavender to calm them down.
Well, I
Depending
have
on what.
the 3 kit, lavender, lemon, and peppermint.
You got a lot of them.
Yeah.
Right there, yeah. You got a lot of the go-to oils.
So those are the 3, yeah. I use a lot.
These are the oils in the Aroma Touch kit. We've got some others that we'd really like to tell you about because they apply very much to what you're doing as far as counseling. Counseling goes. One of them being the In Tune. And Deb, I'll let you talk about In Tune. Here's what that kit looks like. This is the Aroma Touch kit. And it comes with a video so you can review the video to find out how to do it. It's really easy.
And it's
though.
also in your packet that I passed on.
Yeah.
It gives you detail on how to do it. It's not difficult, but it is very important that it is followed exactly. You can add some touches to it if you wanted to, but don't deviate from the actual process. Dr. Hill, who is the doctor within doTERRA, he's one of our top, I don't know, you don't want to call it board of directors, I don't know what you call it. He's the one that put that therapy together, and you can Google that therapy, the Aroma Touch therapy, and actually see all of the testimonials that are out there of what that therapy has done for people. And I think that's very important for this group, not just as massage therapists, but as therapists otherwise, because as you have people come to you, whether they're children, because this can be used on children, whether you have children or adults who have situations, this Aroma Touch therapy can help just about every situation that's out there. I mean, if you think about it, the stress that's out there today, with everybody, this Aroma Touch therapy can actually bring that stress down. I believe Sue's had the therapy done to her and fallen asleep at least once, right?
Oh, the therapy is so relaxing. It's just, I could only describe it after, like about a half an hour later as like euphoric. I mean, you feel so relaxed. It's fantastic, and I've done it. And the therapist also gets the benefit too. When you do it to someone else, now you're not getting the meridian thing, but you're still smelling all these oils on your hands. It still works for you too. So, but I love this technique. It's absolutely wonderful. It feels wonderful.
And Kathy had it last week. Kathy, I don't know if you wanted to say anything about.
Yeah, it was interesting because I'm so used to like actual massage, and while you're still rubbing the back, it's really not massage focused. And afterwards, I had felt as good as if I would have had a massage, and I know for the rest of that day, I was wanting to just go to bed. I was so relaxed from it. It was a really good treatment. I liked it.
Good. But yeah, and hopefully you know, massage therapists will try it on each other. You'll take advantage of getting, you know, the experience to have it yourself so that you'll feel the benefit to be able to, you know, offer that or recommend that, you know, to the clients that come in. So, because that's what we're here for. We are here to educate you so that you can help your clients, help the, you know, you don't call them patients, do you call them patients that come in? You know, the folks that are coming in here to get better. And this is just another tool in your toolbox to help those people to see the value of coming to you for help, you know, because you can provide this for them. But I do want to talk, you know, we don't have too much time, but I wanted to talk to, this is one of the samples that I had given. This is a brand new tube of Intune, and this is what is used for anyone who has ADHD, has difficulty, you know, focusing in any kind of situation. We did talk about balance earlier. Sometimes balance works. This Intune is great for kids. And I can't get this open. You know, these are antimicrobial, so you can actually take these, take this, and roll it. Yeah, with kids, they generally take it and they roll it on their ankle. What I do with it, I roll it. I just go ahead and I roll it right here where my carotids are. It smells great. I can't remember what's in here. West Indian sandalwood, patchouli, frankincense, lime, lang lang, Hawaiian sandalwood, and Roman chamomile in here. So I'll pass it around. You guys put it on, you know, put it on your neck. And just pay attention, you know, the difference. You know, just a little bit goes a long way.
When you're looking up in your little books that you got, you can look up by whatever is the issue. If someone has carpal tunnel, someone's got high cholesterol, it will recommend cholesterol, take the lemongrass, clary sage. For common colds, On Guard. Congestion, eucalyptus, peppermint, breathe. So this is a real good go-to guide for yeah, I think it does. It also has the oil and what it does, and then what you need it for, and the recommended oils.
I have a question.
Yeah.
That Melaleuca.
Melaleuca? Mm-hmm. Tea tree.
Is it tea tree?
It's tea tree
okay, I was
oil,
gonna say,
yes.
it smelled like tea tree. I never heard that name before.
Yeah, if you go to,
Yeah, I've never heard it before either.
if you look at your book on page 24 and you actually go to ADD, the way this book is laid out, it will it'll give you the primary oil to be used for that particular situation first, and then the secondary oils, okay? So for ADD, Intune is the #1 oil. Then there's Serenity. Serenity is another really nice oil. And I don't have that with me, I apologize, but I gave my last one away. You could diffuse it in the air, inhale it, and actually put it on yourself. So if you didn't have the Intune, you could use the Serenity. You know, addictions are in here. If you have somebody that comes to you, you know, that's dealing with any kind of addiction, you know, we all have something, right? Caffeine. Tobacco, alcohol, you know, pharmaceuticals, whatever the case may be. This is a shortened version. If you looked at Kathy's book, it's going to give you a lot more detail. But this is something that you can keep, you know, in your purse, in your work bag, whatever the case is, and actually go to it.
If you want to order a copy of that book, you can get it Amazon.com. I think it's $26.95. I've never seen any place that's got a discount. So you know, the best you can do is if you get an account with Amazon, you get free shipping if you order $35. So that's $26.95, and
They just had a sale on aromatools.com, and I think that was this week. They might have had it for 20.
That was version 4.
Oh, was it?
This is version 5.
Yeah, that was version 5.
Yeah, they're trying to get rid of the old ones.
Oh, okay.
Not that there's anything wrong with them, but this has more updated information and more products in it.
They actually had, when I was looking on Amazon, obviously used versions that were, I think around 20 was the cheapest I've seen. But it would be the 4th, I think they were the 4th edition.
The 5th edition is nicer. I've got a 4th.
Okay.
And I saw the 5th.
I think one of the if you're sitting there asking, what's the benefit to me to use these oils? I guess I would have to say the same thing I just said a few minutes ago, really, to sum that up, is that you are going to have something to offer a client that somebody else in this area, in a large area, cannot offer those people. And that's huge. I mean, if you think about for yourself, if you go somewhere for a service and they have everything right there in that one spot. I have one go-to place that I can go to, and for X, Y, and Z, and I don't have to travel outside of my neighborhood, or I don't have to travel, here or there. And man, it's first-class service. They make me feel good. I walk out of there and I feel like that person really cares about me. And I think you're going to find that with doTERRA. If you use these oils on these folks and they start to feel good, which I know they're going to, and I wouldn't be standing here telling you that if I didn't truly believe it, then they're going to come back and they're going to tell people. And what's the payback for you as a therapist in whatever, yoga, you're a therapist too. What's the payback in that? Me as a reflexologist, I just had one of my clients bring their niece. And it was funny because he called me the voodoo princess, because of the oils and, the reflexology and biofeedback and whatnot. But he said, listen to her because she knows what she's talking about. She makes me feel good every time I come in here. Where can you go, and feel good? Not a doctor's office. So, I guess that's why I'm telling you that's your payback.
I just wanted to add, by it being holistic, massage therapists use our techniques and everything. That's just to enhance, really,
Absolutely.
for our techniques and to make people feel good.
Absolutely.
And we are healers. We are facilitators.
Right.
And so that's just an add-on.
Right.
Which, do all of the scents come in roll-ons or just some of them?
Some of them come in roll-ons. If you're interested in making an oil roll-on, that site that I just talked about a minute ago called aromatools.com, you can go on there and you can get the empty bottles with the little roll-on tops and fill them with your oil and use them. You can make any oil a roll-on.
What do you make?
You add this in it. You use the coconut oil. Yeah, coconut oil, and otherwise you pour a whole full bottle in there of oil. So make it a roller. It'll roll smoother if you've got the oil in there too.
Now, does that book show you technique as far as applying these oils, or is it in that CD that you
The
get?
video.
It's in the video.
Well, in this packet that she passed out,
Yeah,
Yeah, in
if
the
you look
packet.
in the back,
Yeah.
it gives you all the detail on how to do it. Plus you can
Okay,
watch
because
the
like you were
video.
saying how there's certain meridians for certain oils and that, and that's also in here?
Yes.
Okay.
I just want to say that I've been using oils for a while. Before I met Deb, I was not using doTERRA, but just the stuff that you get at the vitamin stores or whatever, which is whatever, it's fine. But since I started using doTERRA, I notice a lot more, like people will say, like last night I had the women in my class say like, what were you blowing on us at the end of class? And I just put it on my hands and put it over their faces, have them breathe in like 2 times, and then I'll massage it into their shoulders and the back of the neck and behind the ears. And obviously I don't go into deep massage like you guys do, but everybody says, what is that? What is that? So I'm always, telling them, this is what it is, here's my bottle, and And I think that's,
Did you just put it on your hands one time and were able to touch all those people, or did you have to do it for each person? Or?
it depends on how big the class is. So I had a pretty big class, so I'll do it maybe twice. You know, I'll start at one end, you know, do everything, and then I'll smell to see how strong it is still on my hands, and then maybe I'll put in another drop and then go for the rest of the class.
I got you.
Yeah.
One thing with essential oils, and this is all essential oils, they are not bioaccumulative. All right, they go into your system, they do their thing, and then you expel them through perspiration, your breath, through urine or whatever waste. They come out. They don't stick around, so you cannot OD on them. You can use peppermint a little too much in one too quickly, one right after the other, and you're gonna blast yourself with a headache. You know, there are some contraindications. You need to read the manual. Don't just go willy-nilly and use them. Read the little book, read that oil, and find out what it actually does. Because some of them you don't ingest. Some of them you don't put on tiny little babies. Some of them you have to dilute. Some of them you don't, like the citrus. If you're going to use a citrus on the skin, don't send anybody out into the sun because it's photosensitive. So everything's got, some of them have contraindications, and they are documented in the book. But the important part is you can't OD on them. Like, all right, like how many did I put on my hand? It's not like I'm going to walk out of here and fall asleep in the car. You know, it's not going to have that effect on me. So because I took too many of the relaxing, but I will feel good.
Now, can you mix them with like plain lotion that doesn't have?
Absolutely.
But like, what kind of lotion would you buy?
Organic. I would get organic.
Okay.
You know, I mean, you can mix it with different oils. It doesn't have to be coconut oil.
Right.
You can maybe you want to do kukui oil, you know, from Hawaii, or you want to do maybe in your massage practice you use olive oil. You know,
Okay.
it depends what you're using, or if you're doing creams. But get organic. These are organic. Put them with an organic carrier somehow.
doTERRA does have a fractionated coconut oil, which, you know, where they take the, you know, the fat out of it, and it's clear. So, I mean, I wasn't feeling good about a month ago. I had a little bit of mine left. I took the balance and I added it to the coconut oil. Took it to the massage therapist, and I said, I'd rather use my oil than what you're using, you know, and I really need the balance. Could you please use my oil? It was the most fabulous massage I ever had. You know, because I knew what was going on in my body. I knew the balance was in there that I needed, and then it was just double. It was just double great.
How much oil do you go through per massage? I mean, I really have no idea. I mean, generally,
I use a lotion, not oil.
Okay.
But,
1 ounce, 2 ounces
yeah, probably at the most.
at the most.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I have a little pump bottle, and I use about that much out of the pump bottle for each massage. I probably could get like 5 massages out of one of those pump bottles. I don't know if you
It
know.
all depends on the person.
Yeah, it's
If
too.
Yeah, if they got dry skin, yeah,
If they
yeah.
have hair on them, because you have to use them
Yeah.
more for people that have hair to get the skin fixed.
But if you've got a client that you know that they've got issues, you know, they need to really chill out, or they're feeling out of whack, you may want to have a little special batch.
Like anxiety.
Yeah,
Something to calm.
If they've got something going on, now you're adding an extra, you know, you're ramping it up just a little bit more for that massage, because the massage obviously is going to relax them. Obviously that works. But this is going to just take it one step further. Kind of like Emerald with his BAM. One little extra thing puts another little item in your toolkit.
Yeah, you're right. Like she said, you know, a little bit goes a long way. Just
Yes.
add a couple drops and that's it.
Yeah, I might do. In 2 ounces, I might do 10 drops. But you could also mix too. You could do like 10 drops of lavender and maybe, I don't know, balance or something. I mean, be careful with what you're doing. Don't throw peppermint oil in there,
Exactly.
you know, on massaging something like that.
Know what you're doing exactly.
Yeah. Or the deep blue.
Yeah,
Is there really- if they're really feeling bad?
It's a cure for, or the #1 oil for a lot of symptoms in the book. I see that.
Yeah, you really got to experience that deep blue, because it really, you know, even my elbow hurt, put it on.
Is that what that thing is?
That little sample is
Yeah,
deep blue.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah, now the oil itself is something It's an essential oil, that's mixed with the cream. So you could take that and mix it in your own, do what you wanted to do with it, you know. That's got three things in it. And don't use the whole thing on one person. Lesson learned.
At least it was me and not a client.
Yeah. And even if I was using deep blue like that, I think I would still dilute that. I wouldn't put that directly. And if you're gonna mix the whole thing in, your cream, mix it in with your cream and put it on. Because I think that's a little too intense to do a whole body, obviously.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She
It didn't kill her, but
she didn't
yeah.
know what was going on.
Yeah.
I just assume, like, here's the packet, use it on me. And then, wow.
Did you mix it in with your other stuff?
No.
Or you just
Basically,
straight up?
I did her massage and just put it on after, so it was really, it was diluted a little.
Okay.
Does
That's not too
doTERRA
bad.
Still
sell the
stimulating.
organic lotion or the organic
Yes.
cream?
Yes.
To mix?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, they do.
And then at Aroma Tools, you can find
Aroma.
the pump bottles and if you want to use little round containers for cream or, you know, something with a pump or something with the squirts, they've got all that on there too. You know, depending on how you do your stuff.
So, she's got a question.
Yeah.
Because we're Italian and we cook, so, well, our family's big cookers,
Yeah.
so can you
Oh,
I was gonna talk about.
Cooking,
Okay.
cooking with a
Is that
essential
what you
oils.
wanna know if you can use them?
Well, I was curious because a lot of them are like spices
Oregano,
and
rosemary.
stuff. So
Where's
is it the
the- yeah.
same as using a spice or?
It is.
Check this out, check this out. This is the holiday thing they just sent out. The holiday cooking kit. All right. Basil, lemon, lime, black pepper, cinnamon, cilantro, oregano, thyme, rosemary, ginger, fennel, and peppermint. That's in like
You should get Mom.
a spice kit.
That's a very nice kit.
Yeah.
The thing of it is that I've been told though, with the cooking of these, is that you have to use very little.
Oh, yeah.
A friend of mine made a vegetarian chili. And she took the oregano oil and just put a toothpick in the oil and then put it in her pot and stirred it, and that was enough.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's how
small,
potent it is.
tiny, tiny drops.
Remember what we said, the 1 drop of peppermint oil is equal to 28 cups of peppermint tea. So you have to keep that in mind if you're going to use it for cooking, okay? So you want to be very, very, very minimal. I make peppermint brownies, raw peppermint brownies. And it's walnuts, dates, and cacao powder. And then you take like 6 drops of peppermint oil and put in there and you get a whole pan, obviously. But you want to talk about something that's fabulous.
That was good. It's
Tastes
really
like
good.
a peppermint patty. And they're not cooked, they're raw. They're awesome.
If you're going to make a tea and somebody wants, and you want to just put a drop of peppermint, be very careful. I had a client who put three drops of peppermint and it went nuts.
Yeah,
It's way too much.
ruined it.
1 drop is even kind of tight. I forgot about this.
The toothpick.
The toothpick idea is really good. But if you want to do like 1 drop of peppermint oil in a thing of water, shoot it back, got an upset stomach, that works. I did it for my husband.
So does using spices though, is that the same, like do the spices do the same thing as the oils do?
Well, spices, yeah, I mean, it's a dried plant.
They'll taste the same.
Yeah.
They're not going to have the
But they don't
therapeutic
taste
effect.
different.
You're just getting the taste of it. Because the oils are a distilled, you're taking the essential oils out of the plant itself, out of the basil, out of the oregano, and adding it. They all taste like, it still tastes like oregano, but
It's powerful.
it's powerful.
Medicinally, therapeutically.
So if you put for instance, let's say you use peppermint to become alert, how often would you have to do? I mean, how long is that going to last on your body?
I think it's going to be different for the individual, but peppermint, to breathe it in,
An hour or 2.
I'd say at least 2 hours
Okay.
on average.
You don't ever sniff peppermint oil like right before you go to bed because you'll be like this.
Okay.
So if you've got a stuffy nose, you want to work on it, do it at 8 o'clock so that it clears up your nose, and then go to bed because it will keep you awake. It will.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like with some of my clients, what I've even done, I'll I've used tissues, but there's other ways of doing this. I'd give them like different tissues and I'd write on it what it is, and that tissue would last them a whole week. We'd put a couple drops on there so they might take it to school, or, you know, I've never had anybody actually do it, but this kind of just came to me. If you were to get like a little pin with some kind of fabric on it, I would imagine that if you put a few drops on that and, you know, you're wearing it, you're going to have that constant, and it would
Yeah,
probably
and then
last.
it's stored in a plastic bag or a little jar. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm all about like making things last as long as they can. I don't like wasting stuff, so that's why, you know, with my clients, I'm
Makes
sure
sense.
tissues weren't the best, but
No, I bought something at a craft fair a while ago, and they had, it was something for the nose, and they had eucalyptus and stuff, but they sold it in a jar. And so whatever was, the little tissue was like a little cloth. And it was tainted with the oils on it, but it was a screw it on the jar and then take it off, smell, put it back together. Yeah, so that's a good way to save it.
there was an infant that like over a year ago when I had a lady here doing polarity and a lot of the oils through doTERRA. She'd have the mother had a bib, and every week she'd come in and she would just reapply on the bib, and so like anytime she was going to feed, this baby was extremely hollow. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So for little babies that, you know, that are having a hard time, it's all in here. Yeah.
Maybe that's the digestin. Remember the
Yeah.
Chrissy story with the digestin. But yeah, I like that idea too. And I saw Caesar Milan do this with a dog. We know Caesar Milan. He had a red zone dog, which is like top of the line, number 10. They're out of control. And it wasn't a product place, but maybe it was. But it was a doTERRA oil, lavender, and he put it on his hands.